Welcome to Rocket League Talks. It is Munch818 or Ian back here with another episode. Today we have some pretty good stuff we're going to be talking about today. I'm sure you guys can tell the change of background and scenery. The window that used to be right behind my desk is now over here to this side. I have a little better lighting going on. I upped some camera situations, so I have a little bit better saturation. My white face is a little less white this time around. And a lot of things have changed. I'm gonna be putting up some stuff in my background. I hope you guys like the Pokemon blanket. I'm sure if you guys have checked out my old streams, this is how my setup kind of used to be. It used to be my desk was turned, but this monitor that I have my webcam on is the webcam is right here. It's above my second monitor, and it was pointed toward that Pokemon blanket. So if you guys watch any of my old streams, you can see in the back of the webcam. That's where it is. It's covering up my second window so I don't get any background glare, but hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. We're going to be doing a little bit of stuff. I have two topics that we're going to be talking about, and I have a background one, which I'm going to actually pop up right here, which this will be my backup, which I think I will have time for. Close these out, and yeah, here we go. Perfect. So let's get right into our first topic today. It's going to be, we're going to hop over to Twitter. And it is going to be, this is what I call, it should be popping up soon. Main monitor? Oh, there we are. All right. So this is going to be what I like to call, this segment is going to be the people of OCE plus Rizzo. Maybe plus or minus Rizzo. We found some common ground at the end. Against versus Munch818. This is the first lawsuit in Rocket League history. Not really. It's not really a lawsuit. But it's the people of Australia versus Munch818. It all started with this tweet. And CJ, if you guys don't know, is a very popular RLCS commentator now, but he used to be a really big pro. I don't know if he's still going pro. I'm pretty sure he retired from that because I couldn't find him anywhere of last RLCS season being on a big team. But definitely one of the most known players. You can see here, RL player for at Chiefs. Okay, never mind. I'm silly. He actually is an RL pro. He's playing for Chiefs. He's a 3-time elite. He's been to the World Championship once or twice. Because elite means league play, I think. But I think, and then contender means you've been to the World Championship. I know he went to the World Championship at least once, maybe twice. Hopefully we'll be back there again this next season. A very good player, one of the best out of OCE. He tweeted out, for the past few seasons, OCE has received less prize money than the RLRS NAEU have received, basically. And the NAEU RLCS have received more than 4 times the amount, and last place in those regions receive more than the OCE champions. If you want to take our region seriously, we need more reward for our effort. Please help us, RL Esports. Now, I'm going to close this, but I want to hop to RLCS Season 7. Now, these are the championships. So we're going to head over to OCE. We're going to see who took last place over there. Or their OCE champs earned 12,500. And if you hop over here, those are all my topics and my things I'm going to hop over today. Last place from North America and Europe received 20,000. So he's right. They have received more. And then he said NAEU RLCS received more than 4 times the amount that last place in those regions. There's a lot of jumbling going on here. I don't really understand what he's saying, but I think what he's trying to say, if I'm getting this correctly, is that NA/EU RLCS received more than 4 times the amount. And last place in those regions be more. So NAEU RLCS make more than 4 times the amount of OCE league play. Which if you see here, NA 215,000. And then over here to OCE, I think they make 50,000. Well, they make 34 here, which is the finals, and then league play, which is just the bottom 4 teams, get paid out 1550, so 50,000. So he's right, more than 4 times. If you want to take our region seriously, we need more reward for effort. And then what did I reply? Okay, I think this was my first reply. Pretty sure. Okay. And I replied, but also the top 2 from your region get a chance to go to LAN and make more money than a lot of NA/EU RLCS teams. For example, the old Chiefs team made $39,000. I meant to say in RLCS Season 6 because they took 4th at the World Championship, was obviously before the $500,000 World Championship prize pool. And that is also interesting because the bottom place from RLCS NA makes a little over 20,000, but the top from RLCS Oceania or Australia makes 12.5 thousand. But the number one and 2 seed from Australia are also guaranteed 10,000 extra dollars. So there's kind of my rebuttal, right? So last place throughout the entire season, last place of NAEU RLCS make 20 20 grand and like $531 or something. But first and second place from OCE get nearly 13,000. First place from OCE makes nearly 13,000, plus are guaranteed another 10,000, and could possibly, like in this tournament, earn up to 20,000. So like here, I would make the argument that technically first place in OCE did make last place. I know that's not much, but it is an argument to what he was saying, and I know this isn't trying to be an argument. We're trying to talk about it like civilized adults, but I'm expressing my point of view, and he expresses his point of view from the tweets. CJ, very smart guy. He's a top-level commentator. I think he's actually at, Beyond the Summit, and he's commentating that, talking about that, and he's been a top-level Australian player for some time now. And then he replies, this isn't about the top teams. This is about providing stability for the lower teams to compete and earn some sort of living off it. The drop-off in prize money is huge, and if you don't make the top 2 earning 20.5k in the RLCS for coming last is a massive comparison to where he's talking about right here in Australia. If you took last in league play, you make 3 grand, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 3 grand. So they make almost 7 times more than last place in OCE. And I agree with that. And I said, but honestly, it's extremely unclear if your best teams in OCE are better than the 5th and 6th seeds from NA and the EU. So how good could the lower seeds be? Basically, I know I'm kind of taking a jab here, and I was heated. I'm not going to lie, I'm heated. Now I'm a little more calm, and I will provide the argument that what I was saying was, look, OCE players are good. The top level have competed somewhat near the top level of OCE, near the world. Obviously, if we go back to RLCS season, I'm just going to go to 6 here, for example. I think this is the best Australia has ever done. Their first team got $30,000 for taking 4th place here. And that's a pretty good chunk. That's a pretty good sizable amount. And I'm actually very proud of them for that. And then there was a deleted tweet here. I have no idea what it says. It was talking about how players can afford to spend their lives playing the game if they aren't good enough. And I said, this was another jab. And I'm not going to lie, I feel bad for it. But I said, honestly, I wonder why Kronovi even played the game, because obviously Kronovi is probably an all-time great, but probably the best player back when Rocket League first was becoming an esport. Obviously, captain of the Season 1 World Championship team, very good player. Honestly, I wonder why Kronovi even played the game before RLCS was a thing, since he wasn't making any money. Oh, it's called drive and passion, and hoping that if he gets better, he'll actually get paid. You have to get good at the game first, and then you get paid. Basically, I'm making the argument throughout these tweets is that OCE has to prove that they are a viable region past their first seed before they can expect to get paid. I'm not going to pull them up, but I'm just going to say it, and if you guys want to fact check me, that's perfectly fine, because I know the facts, because I know a lot of stuff about RLCS. The OCE second seed has never won a match unless we're talking about when Chiefs were the second seed but went the farthest. I would say no one but whatever team Torsauce was on, because Torsauce has been on the Chiefs and what were they when they first started? Alpha Sydney, and then the Renegades this past season. Any team besides that has never won a match at Worlds. So originally, obviously, Drippe, Torsauce, and Jake, and then it moved on. Once Drippe left, they picked up Kami, and then once Jake left, they picked up Kami, and once Drippe left, they picked up what was his name? Shoot, his name's escaping me. They kicked him off. Oh, I can't remember what it is. It was RLCS Season 7. Zen, that's his name. It was escaping me for a second. You guys can see whatever topics I'm going to be talking about. But he said OCE were grinding their asses off for 2 seasons until they received world spots, which was huge. I'm saying we are in OCE's 6th season, and they're now earning less money than the RLRS. There needs to be more incentive for new teams to grind to compete for league play. And I don't know. I guess I'm just seeing it as the fact as, yeah, they've been in it for 6 seasons, so why hasn't more than just that one team I was talking about, the team with Torsauce on it? The other team has never won a single match. Why? They've had opportunity after opportunity. That means if this is their 6 seasons, they had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, that's 5 seasons, but this next one will be the 6th. So he's right. But they've had 10 opportunities to win matches, and that team has never won a match. So you can make that argument. See, that's kind of my thing. And I said people shouldn't get rewarded before they have something to get rewarded over. They have to get better first. There are no free handouts. For example, streamers don't get big and then get entertaining. You should know this. Most of all, you're entertaining as hell and you get rewarded for it. And that's what I'm saying. People have to get good at their trade, and then they get rewarded and compensated by money or benefits or orgs in this scenario. Orgs are opportunities to make money. Sorry. And then he said, Chiefs got 4th place at RLCS Season 6 while earning half as much as the 8th seed during league play. The drive in our region is dropping due to the lack of incentives, all financial stability to compete every season, whilst other regions are given a boost. And I agree. I'm not, some of his points I fully agree with. I think that OCE is a solid region, and I'm not saying that they're not. And then this guy replies here, and I'm just going to read his tweets to you guys. I disagree to what he's saying. He says he's definitely a newer viewer. Not true. The first Rocket League tournament that I ever watched that was in the RLCS was actually RLCS Season 2 World Championship. That was probably right after, or right before I would have gotten Rocket League. It was my first Rocket League tournament I ever watched, but I didn't actually have it at the time. If you guys want to know how I got into Rocket League, I can make a whole nother video or story about that. I think it's pretty interesting. But yeah, I got the game on December 25th. I got it on Christmas when I got this PC that I'm streaming on right now. I got it for Christmas when I got my PC and my monitor, and I got all that because I was loving the game. I was playing Minecraft before I played Rocket League, and I was kind of sick of it. So I was trying out new games, and I got into Rocket League, and I watched that tournament, and I kind of just fell in love with the game. He says, OCE teams, now this is where I disagree. OCE teams have not. One OCE team has. One OCE team has proved that they can compete near the top over and over again, and that is the Alpha Sydney Renegades / Chiefs team. That same team. You guys know what I'm talking about. Have had really close games against the absolute top of NA and EU and are taken very seriously by other contenders. And I disagree with that because this isn't a fact. But I remember hearing that the top level NA and EU teams were discarding the 2nd seeds from... Oh shit. My phone's popping off. Sorry guys. We're discarding the 2nd seed out of OCE and saying they wouldn't even scrim against them because it's a waste of their time because they're not top level competition. So the best OCE team has always been up there, but other than that, I completely disagree. And had really close games and are taken very seriously by other contenders. I'd like to see how the lower teams stack up. And I think that's actually interesting. I honestly think that if we had the 5th through 8th seed from North America, Europe, and every OCE team all in top 16 tournament, my guess is Alpha Sydney would finish probably 1st place. And then the rest of the top 4 would be NA and EU teams, because think of the powerhouses we have. Not discounting all the teams that didn't go to LAN. We have the BRICS. Let's just pull it up. RLCS 7. So out of these teams from NA and EU, let's go North America. We have Splice, Space Station, Ghost Gaming, and Evil Geniuses. And in Europe, we have Dignitas, TSM, the BRICS, and the Mouse Sports. Those 5 through 8 teams are extremely, especially like the 5th and 6th seed, I very much agree are actually better than the RLCS teams. And now, than the higher level OCE RLCS teams. And that's why if you guys haven't checked out my video on how I would do LAN, go check it out. It should be up here. Way, I don't know, I'm trying my best. Like way over there. Should be over there on the YouTube video. And just go check out my YouTube, Munch818, if you guys haven't checked out that video. But I talk about how I'd like to invite the 5th and 6th teams from North America and Europe to compete against like the 2nd and 3rd seed from OCE to really see who's better, and so they can fight for their spot. Because I fully believe that the 5th and 6th seeds from NA and EU are better than the 2nd seed from OCE, and then I included Sam. Even though we aren't arguing over Sam, I'm saying that the 2nd team probably isn't nearly that good. Then he says, however, OCE has 38 million people living in it. EU and NA have over 500 million. I think that means the drop-off will go faster since there are realistically less people to fill the talent pool. Chiefs went undefeated one season, proving they're the absolute best. You'll always see bigger countries dominating the Olympic Games as well. I totally agree that OCE RLCS shouldn't earn less than RLRS, but I don't think it should be equal pay either, unless the bottom-rated teams are as good as the bottom-rated NAU teams. And I agree. If we look, this is the spectacle that I want to point out. If we look at how much the 8th seed from OCE is, from what I've seen, and I'm gonna admit it, I haven't really watched these bottom teams like Mprox, Team Esper, Edge, Justice Esports really play any matches outside of OCE League play. I've pretty much watched every single RLCS match outside of, I didn't really watch Sam this season, and I didn't really watch OCE League play when it first came out. But these bottom teams, are getting paid respectively. I think I saw 3 million, 3,000, 3,500, 4,000, 5,000, and NA RLRS, because I watch them the most, get paid 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So roughly around the same amount, and I believe they're at the same level. Now, I don't have any facts pulled up on this, but I'm sure if we go to DreamHack, Dallas, I think was the last one, we can look it up. I can't remember. This is why I love podcasts, guys. I can just kind of look it up. I don't remember if they did have any matches, but this is a spectacle that I kind of want to point out. The 3 best teams from OCE, which consisted of Icon Esport, Icon? Yeah, Icon, which was CJ's team. Icon Esports, and then, where's it? Renegades, and where's the other one? Oh, come on. Renegades, oh, I'm missing it. Where is it? I'm looking at it. Oh god. Renegades, Icon, and where's Chiefs? I thought Chiefs went too. Am I missing Chiefs somewhere, guys? God. Where is it? Oh god, where's the teams? Oh, the team's right here. Okay, open sign up. So we had, I'm looking. Renegades, Icon. I guess I've got to be missing it, right? Am I completely botching this, guys? Were they under like a different name? Yeah. Oh, wait. Renegades. Oh my god, maybe they didn't go. Oh, is this the last one? Am I thinking of Valencia? Oh, guys, I'm embarrassing myself. Valenica. No. Valencia? Was that the recent one? Yes, okay, July. Okay, here we go. Good golly. I'm embarrassing myself. Okay, so right here. Yes, this was the recent one. So we have Ground Zero, we have Chiefs, and we have Renegades. This is a point I'll bring up later in the tweets. Out of all of those, I'm not gonna go, I'm just gonna look here. None of the top 3 OCE teams finished top 12 in this tournament. That's all I'm saying. If you guys are arguing that the top 3 seeds, and now a lot of people are like, oh, but Drippe left. Yeah, Drippe left. Drippe left because those teams aren't good and he wasn't getting enough money. So we came to NA thinking he was good enough to compete. Lost out, and then a topic I'm going to talk about later, he's moving back. Because he couldn't win here. Because he wasn't a top level contender. He couldn't be on a top level team here. That's just how it works. The OCE talent is not as good as the NA talent. That's like period. Now I know a lot of you guys are going to talk about, well, Chiefs upset NRG in RLCS season 5, I think it was. Yeah. No, RLCS season 6. That's when I think NRG lost out. I think it was RLCS season 6. With Drippe, Kami, and Torsauce. They upset. Yeah. They get an upset every once in a while. Congrats. But here, we see that, let's look at Ground Zero. Loses to Splice. First round, Ground Zero loses to Splice. Great team. Splice is in the rival series. You guys are arguing that your 8th best team is worse than our 16th best team? But a team in your big 3 can't even beat a rival series level team now. Obviously, they were in the RLCS back then, but they lost out. You guys are arguing that they're good, but your top 3 can't even beat Veloce, who at this point would have just made it to RLCS. Renegades loses to Triple Trouble, loses day 1. Ground Zero upsets over TSM. I said there are going to be upsets. They're going to upset every once in a while. TSM had a really bad tournament. TSM's bad at DreamHacks. I don't know if it's a thing with them, but I mean, they're still a top level team. Ground Zero make it to day 3. Now move over. Where's the last team? I'm looking. Were they here? Did I miss them? No. No. Chiefs lose to Randy Gibbons River Rats, a team that just demoted, subbing out Drippe, the OCE god, subbing in Turbo. Sorry, I have to turn my phone. Oh, crazy. I thought I turned it off. Subbing out in Turbo, crush them 3-1. They go down to the lower bracket, beat Servette, and then lose to Dig. They're not rated high. No. How you can see if teams are seeded highly, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of seeding advice. So the first seed's always on top of the upper side. This is always 2nd seed. This is always 3rd seed. This is always 4th seed. Always 5th. Always 6th. Always 7th. Always 8th seed. That's how tournaments will be seeded, because they want the 1st seed versus the 8th seed, they want the 2nd seed versus the 7th seed, and they want it down so that way upsets can happen, because usually viewing will go to the 4th versus the 5th seed, because those are going to be the closest games. Ground Zero seeded 5th in their group, not even seeded top 4th. Renegades seeded 5th in their group. Chiefs seeded 5th in their group. But Ian, they weren't given the opportunity to succeed. Yes, they were. They've been given the opportunity to succeed. They've been handed 2 RLCS land slots. Renegades, or now Renegades, but old Chiefs, old Alpha Sydney team deserves a land spot. They've been handed a 2nd land spot for the past 5 RLCS seasons and have won 0 matches. 10 opportunities, have won 0 matches from that. One team made it to day 2, not even day 3, day 2 of this tournament. And then what happened to them, you might ask? They got 5th seed, 3-1 by Ground Zero, or by PSG, 3-0 by Veloce. Didn't win a match. Won one game. Tell me again how your best teams how your worst teams are so good and deserve so much money when your best teams can't beat the teams that just promoted from the RLRS in Europe. Explain that to me. Back over to Twitter. Where else? I had so many tweets. Right here. 5. I think this is how I got. Okay. Oh, this is kind of a roast, I'm not gonna lie. He tweeted out basically that OCE should just get money. OCE should get money as an investment. And I said, honestly, I wonder why Kernovi even played the game, blah, 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 before you get paid. And then I replied to myself, Pee-wee football players don't make money. They get good at the game, and then they get paid. That's how it works. That's how sports work. That's how esports work. This isn't a handout. We aren't just going to give money. And I know it's not fair to a lot of those OCE teams. And then this guy starts calling me names. He said, because their passion, you see shitty NAEU teams at the bottom of RLRS make more money than you. Of course you're going to complain about it. And I said, honestly, OCE, they have the opportunity to grind. OCE had, I don't know if Alpha City sent them on a lot of things, but I know Renegades probably is a good org and pays for those guys to go out to tournaments. I know they were just picked up by Renegades. But, what's the other one? Chiefs probably pays for those guys to go out to tournaments, and they just get crushed. And this is what Rizzo wanted to respond to me. Honestly, if OCE has been grinding, and I'm not going to lie, they probably play the game as much, but the reason they aren't improving is because they don't have good competition. Where I agree where Rizzo might be saying this. If they had been grinding as much as the NAU teams, they would have been paid for it. And you know how I can tell they haven't been grinding as much? Because their best player left OCE, and the remaining teams, I meant to say couldn't. I said could. That's my bad. And the remaining teams couldn't win one series at the past RLCS. And he says, dude, you have no clue what you're talking about. Please stop talking. Then I respond, I have no idea what he's talking about. I say, please use facts, Rizzo. I want to know your explanation. And he said, facts to what exactly? You're claiming players grinding the game will get more more orgs, prize pools, and stability to your region. Based on your reply, you've still yet to figure out why Drip A even moved to NA. And I said, all I'm saying is OCE doesn't deserve money. Torsauce just said on his stream that the RLCS teams, and I can play the clip. I'm going to play it. I clipped like 5 different things. I might throw the clips into the YouTube video. I don't know. Go check out the YouTube video. But I said, all I'm saying is OCE doesn't deserve more money. Torsauce just said on his stream that the RLRS teams could be any OCE team outside of the top 3. Which they did. They did. Veloce was an RLRS team and beat 2 of the top 3 teams in OCE. He said, that's actually a reasonable argument, not the past 10 tweets you've sent. Regardless, more money in the region would make the entire region more competitive and stable for players, which would be good for RL as a whole to keep those players involved. I agree with the first part of his tweet. Giving more money would make people better. You know, if we just gave all the poor people money, those poor people would probably be better off. But instead, we should give the money to the top teams, to Vitality, to G2, to NRG, to those top teams that have proven time and time again. And if you want to develop a region that's good at other games. I don't know if South America is good at other games, but they've been in it for a season. You know how many matches Sam won at the past RLCS championship? I'll let you guess. They won just as many matches as OCE did. And OCE has been in this tournament for 5 seasons. And they won just as many matches as the brand new region. But I don't agree that it would be better for the RL as a whole. I think you should develop the Southeast Asia region. They're the best. They're the best at every game. They're the best at Dota. They're the best at League. They're the best at, maybe they're the best at CS. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But they're good at freaking most esports because they put the time and the work in, unlike OCE. Not saying that OCE doesn't put the time. Okay, I am saying that OCE doesn't necessarily put as much time and work in as top level players. And then they also make the argument that OCE players need more money. Stream! Do YouTube. You're telling me if you're an RLCS pro and you coach people, you're an RLCS pro, you can't make money coaching people? That's a joke. Of course you can make money coaching people. And I said, I agree that more money would help them, but I don't think they deserve it. Because they don't grind, think about this. Since they don't have funds, orgs, etc., the OCE teams can't afford any other events besides their RLCS season, which they obviously aren't taking good enough advantage of. They can't get practice against top international teams, and they can't continue to grind. It all comes for circle. My only issue is that they aren't performing at the world stage. Ground Zero, Renegades, and Chiefs all went to DreamHack Valencia. Ground Zero was the only one to make day 2 in which they didn't win a match. Why do you think that is? They're finally getting chances to play internationally at multiple lands, and they were looking their absolute best, and their best player moved to NA because the OCE has no money. Performance isn't all the industry is about, man. I'm just gonna let you read that sentence. This highlighted sentence right here. Soak that in. Performance isn't all this industry is about, man. You know, professional esports? Who gives a shit about performance? That's not all it's about. We should just give all our money to the bad teams. No. What are you talking about, Rizzo? Rizzo, I doubt you see this. But if you do, please elaborate what this means. Because there's no chance it means what I think it means. Because if it means what I think it means, that's the dumbest tweet I've ever read. Professional esports isn't about performance? That's a joke. That's gotta be a joke. All professional esports is about is performance. And then there's a huge rabbit hole where this guy says, you have no idea. The initial money isn't a reward, it's an investment. Well, aren't investments supposed to show growth? OCE just had their worst season to date. They don't deserve the money. That's all I'm gonna say on it. Torsauce on his stream. I don't know. I'll probably either throw the clips in or I'll just throw links in the description or I'll show them next podcast. I don't know. He said on his stream that the top RLRS teams could beat the EU RLCS team. Or the OCE RLCS team. Sorry, not EU. It's a joke. It's a joke. The OCE teams outside that big 3 aren't good. They aren't good enough to get paid huge wages. That's my opinion on it. If you disagree, cool. Cool. You disagree and you think you should invest in a region that just had its worst season to date and second best team has never won a match against RLCS level world championship talent. Cool. Cool that you think that, man. You think that the 3 best teams show up to a really good tournament in DreamHack Valencia and can't finish higher than Randy Gibbons' River Rats. Cool that you think those teams deserve money. A throw-together team that had scrimmed very few times together because they lived in different regions. You think that they should be paid higher, that you should be paid more, and they can't finish higher than Mount Gang? Doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. They should be paid higher and they can't even finish higher than that. Cool that you think that. Sorry that I think that our money, Psyonix's money, should go to the teams that proven that they compete at the highest level over and over again. Sorry that I think that. Sorry that I think instead of investing in Australia, you should invest in Southeast Asia because they've proven across almost every esport that they can compete at the highest level within a year or 2 of turnaround. Cool that you think that those people deserve money even though they're strictly worse than other teams. That's all I've got to say on that topic. Let's move on. I'm heated. I'm heated. And guess what? To top it all off, Drippy can't find a fucking North American RLCS team because no one will pick him up, so he's moving back to Australia. I'm heated. Let's talk about the RLRS playoff. Alright, this is Gibbs' video. It'll be in the description. I'm just going to pause it.
Top 6 make playoffs.
Yeah.
Page playoff system.
Alright, where is it? Right here. All right. So this is how the RLRS playoff is going to go on. So instead of there just being a promotional playoff, if you guys didn't hear, RLRS got expanded to 10 teams, and I'm going to talk about that in my next topic. But out of those 10 teams, top 4 make RLRS playoff. And it works the exact same way pretty much as the regional championship, which I love. I fucking love this new format. So first and second team play in the first match of the day, and winner of that goes on to be the play the 8th seed of RLCS, so they're the first seed out of RLRS. Then the second, you can see right here, the second, I'll full screen this so you guys can see. Okay, good. Second seed drops down, third, fourth seed play, move on. Whoever lost this match plays the winner of this match for the second promotional playoff spot. Promotional playoff is the exact same. That's pretty much it. I really like it. I think it's kind of my ideal format. Here, guys, let me get some water. Alright, I got some water. Gotta take some water. So this is pretty much my ideal RLRS playoff format. I really like this. I think it gives the top teams more of a better spot in league play. Because, you know, especially out of 10 teams, let alone 8 teams. 8 teams, I think you can't really go worse than, like, 5-2 and still finish top 2 in league play. So I like this. I'm actually interested in that statistic. Let's find it out. We're just gonna use North America. I'm North American. Sorry if you're European and you watch this podcast and you're sick of me using North American references, but this is how I like to do it. So we're gonna go to the RLRS. The top 5-2 was number 2. The drip base situation I'm talking about here. I don't know. I'm just gonna redo all this, and I don't know if you guys are watched it, but this is the new RLRS playoff. So you can see the first and second team here play, and then the loser of the winner of that match goes to the regular promotional playoff. Loser goes down here, and then third and fourth team play, and then the winner of this match, loser of this match, play for the second seed, the second team in the promotional playoff, and that's just kind of how it works. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out why it stopped streaming for me. That is very weird. I don't have a lot of tabs open. Usually that doesn't happen. I don't think that hasn't happened in a while. I don't know. But regardless, Drip is moving back, so let's go over the rules. So there are a couple things I want to talk about regarding these things. So I wanted to go to 2. Alright, so dates. In case you guys didn't know, dates for the RLRS quals right here for North America, right here Europe. You're in North America and you're thinking, hey, maybe I want to play against Munch818. I want to clap him because he's bad at Rocket League. 1, that's probably true. You probably will beat me. I'm not very good. I'm only like champ 1, champ 2. Number 2, I will be playing an open qualifier 3 and 4, I am 90% sure. If not 3 and 4, I'll be playing in 2. Definitely not playing an open qualifier 1, but pretty sure I'm playing an open qualifier 3 and 4. And then obviously, we have league play here, and the RLRS is all, but obviously this is what we're concerned about, right? The bottom things. We have the North American Regional Championship, and then the Rival Series playoff is actually this here, this first one, RLRS playoff. I'm just going to close all these. The RLRS playoff is going to be its own weekend. So it's just going to be the 3 matches. Shortest stream that RLCS, like the stream and RLRS have ever done. I'm pretty sure there's never been much less than 3 best of 7s. I'm pretty sure it's the shortest Possibly because of transitions, it might be longer than some of like the really short streams. Also, they're all best of sevens, so it might be longer, like time wise. But as long as the match is going on, it'll probably be the shortest. Then we have the promotional tournament, November 30, and what everyone actually cares about, World Championship date, December 13th to the 15th, 2019, and will be subject to separate rules and all this stuff. Sorry, guys, gotta drink some water. All right, so what is this? Rescheduling tournament stages and format. All the formats are exactly the same. This is the official of all that, but that picture I showed you, I'm sure, should be easier than all of this. What's this? Oh, this is just the regional championship. So all the formats are the same. Let me make sure. So tiebreakers are game differential. What is this then? Game differential in games? What? I'm so confused. Goal so it's game differential, then I don't know what that is. Highest goal differential, and then if still unresolved, if none of the tiebreakers can resolve, then the teams will draw lots. If any step resolves the tie for one or more teams, but not all teams, a new tie will be declared. Draw lots? Does that mean they just draw for who wins if all this shit's tied? What about head-to-head, dude? Game rules are all the same. There's one thing else that I wanted to talk about. I think it's in section 5. 4. Championship prizes. Oceanic series prizes are going to be announced at a later date. Hopefully they don't stay the same, or all those people are going to be real pissed on Twitter, because guess who just got a pay raise? The Rival Series just got a pay raise. They added 2 more teams, but they added some money to the prize pool. It went from $50,000 to $67,000, $17,000 increase. I hope Oceania gets more money. Well, I don't think they deserve it. But if they don't, these people are gonna be pissed. So that means RLRS, instead of making the same amount as Oceanic RLCS, would make more, which is hilarious, in my opinion. Alright, that's all I had to talk about there. And now our backup thing. After this, we're going to end it. For our last tournament, we're going to talk about Beyond the Summit. Now, I haven't been watching Beyond the Summit. Let's actually see the score reports. Right here, NRG beat Frontline, and Cloud9's up a game on Dignitas. I want to talk about how fucking amazing this format was. First off, 2 groups of 4, brilliant. I love it. I love how it starts out already. We're going to talk about the main tournament right now. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the results, but 2 groups of 4, the top 2 teams finish go to the upper bracket in the final bracket, and the 3rd team goes to the lower bracket. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. If you haven't watched my LAN video, I'm going to plug it again. Go check it out on how my ideal RLCS LAN format. Also, with the last thing, they didn't actually say what the format for RLCS LAN is, so maybe they're going to take my exact format. Who knows? Maybe they're going to, like, hey, Munch818, let's help you out with that format. I don't know. Probably not, but it could happen. You never know. But basically, it's this concept that the top couple of teams in groups get to start in the upper bracket, and then the lower teams in groups start in the lower bracket. So, with these teams, this is what the playoff starts. You start with 4 teams here, and then Dignitas and Rogue, since they took 3rd in their group, they start in the lower bracket, which I love that. Now let's talk about the real diamond for this whole tournament. Rocket League crew battles, or as I like to call them, draft battles. Holy cow, if this wasn't the best idea I've ever heard. You get 4 captains. The captains were debatable, in my opinion. I don't know if I would have had Justin as a captain. But I agree K-Dop somewhat. I agree Cookser for sure. I agree Squishy somewhat. In my opinion, if you haven't talked about it, I talked about it last week. My personal captains for EU would have been Cookser plus Violent Panda. And then for NA would have been Kronovi plus Torment. Because, I don't know. Torment, Justin, I understand, or Squishy, whatever. But, like, Torment is the captain for that C9 team, and he's been a captain for a really long time. And he's been a captain pretty much for however long he's been. I'm absolutely shocked that they didn't make Kronovi captain. Prolific. He's a prolific captain. Obviously, Cookser hasn't been a captain in the beginning, but he has been recently. Sorry, guys. And I love it. If you didn't know how this was actually worked, so it's actually different than up here. I tried to change it, but I guess I'm going to change it back. You know, Reddit users, or not Reddit, fuck, Wikipedia. But these games are not here, basically. Games 6 and 7. So the order of games were, so you draft 6 players on your team. So let's say I think a great example is Team Squishy. I'm Squishy. Squishy knows that every series he has to put out a 1v1 player, a 2v2 team, and a 3v3 team. Squishy drafted fucking phenomenally. I think K-Dop just drafted a lot of individually good players, and that just ended up coming out on top. But obviously fucking Turbo being his third pick. Good God, I don't know why Speed was first picked by Cookser. What? Or Torment. Maybe Torment was a viable second pick. But like Chicago was a second pick over like JNaps or AJ. I don't know. But like Squishy drafted phenomenally. He drafted Gimmick, his twos partner. So we already know Squishy and Gimmick are probably going to play twos together every time. Because they're the previous champions of, what was that called? Whatever the 2v2 tournament was called. I can't think of it over the top of my NBC 2v2. Then he drafts Chicago, solid pickup. JNap, solid pickup. Violent Panda, solid pickup. And Rizzo. So his 1v1 team player, Violent Panda, probably the worst or second worst 1v1 player. Obviously, he played a couple 1v1s, but it was close, right? Because Justin's 1v1 player was Scrub. K-Dop's 1v1 player was who was it? I think Fairy Peak. And Cookser's 1v1 player was Kronovi. Team Squishy's 1v1 player, Violent Panda, the worst ones player of those 4, but still a solid pickup. 2v2 players, the NBC 2v2 Open Champions, him and Gimmick, and then his 3v3 team, fucking G2, one of the best teams in the world. I love this. I wish there was tournaments like this. Or I wish there was let's say, I talked about this in my last time. Keemstar talked about doing a weekly Rocket League tournament. He hosts every other week. He does one EU, one NA, and he changes. So every week, and I kind of like how, I think James Bot's been doing this. He picks captains to sign up, and then they draft players. Like he gets the top NA teams, like the top 8 NA teams, and or all in one day. He gets the top 8 NA teams, and it's like a 5 or 6 hour tournament. And they started out with taking the 8 captains or 8 random players, and they draft. They draft 2 other teammates, and then they have to play each other. They can do like round robin to like they can do round robin for like 3 or 4 rounds into a final 8 bracket, and then they play a bracket. And you can see here obviously crew battles here one, and then other things. I love the All-Star game. The All-Star game was fun. K-Dop, Rizzo, Cookser versus Squishy, Justin, Kronovi. Very good team. And then the rock paper scissors was kind of just a joke, but they got $200. Rogue made some money off it, so it's fun. This is the best tournament format I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure this replaces Gold Rush, and I'm perfectly fine with it, guys. This was a wonderful tournament. I absolutely love it. And that's all I've got to say, boys. So Thank you all for coming out and watching. Sorry we had the stream cut. I'm going to figure out why it did that. I hope you guys like my new backgrounds and my new stream starting stuff. I've been trying to upgrade it for you guys to make it look a little bit better because you guys deserve the best and nothing less from yours truly, Rock Lee Talks with Munch818. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out my socials, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. Obviously, you're probably on it watching it unless you're watching YouTube, or you're on the YouTube watching it, which is YouTube. And they're all Munch818 except Twitter is Munch818RL. Make sure to go check it out. Stop by on the stream every Sunday at 6 p.m. EST. Make sure to drop a dono, drop a subscription. You guys can see top donation, no tip data. Isn't that so sad? Make sure to drop some tips, guys. I appreciate you all. I will see you guys all next time. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, I have a couple more videos here that I think you guys will enjoy too. Make sure to like the video if you like the video. Make sure to leave any comments you do have down below. Subscribe for more videos just like this one. Check out my Twitter, Twitch, and Discord in the description, guys. I'll see you later.